Our next guest is so popular that if you look at any billboard on Earth, there's a 99% chance his face is on it. His new movie, Unchartəd, is out in cinemas next Friday, and here to tell us all about it is the globe-trotting Spider-Man of the moment. It's Tom Holland!
Good morning, Tom. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you, Chris. How are you, mate?
Oh, great. Well done and welcome. Wow. How are you doing at the moment? How high is your star flying at the moment? How does it feel, Tom?
I feel really good, mate. I feel really good. You know, Spider-Man, is a project that was a huge labour of love, and we're all delighted to see how successful it's been and how much love it's got. So I feel great, mate. And, you know, Unchartəd is coming out, which is a movie I'm incredibly proud of. So I'm feeling on top of the world, if I'm honest.
Yeah, you're pretty cool. Have you read Will Smith's book, Will?
I haven't, I've got to be honest.
Right, listen, just read it, pal. Just read it, because, you know, who am I to say anything to you about your career whatsoever? But it's like a playbook of how to carry on being as good as you already are by somebody who's been there, done it, and bought and worn all the T-shirts. Just make that a book you read, because I just think it's really important.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right.
I'll get it going.
Okay, so we have loads of texts about you, about people looking after you as a little boy, babysitting for you, about your dad being best man at various people's weddings, and Rachel is pretty taken because she knows your dad really well, Rachel Horn, and so this is Alex Horn's wife. Alex has created Taskmaster, of course, and she was pretty taken with your dad's book, Rachel.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Rachel. How are you?
I'm very well. So my husband was on the Edinburgh scene at the same time as your dad, and he's a huge fan of your dad's. And I just love that your dad reacted to your fame by writing his book, How Tom Holland Eclipsed His Dad. Did he ask for your input?
Brilliant. Sorry, say that again?
Did he ask for your input?
Yeah, of course he did. It was actually a very collaborative process, you know. It's a wonderful thing for my family and I to have, you know, to go back and be able to reminisce about our times in Thailand and, you know, the beginning of my career and seemingly the demise of his. But bless him. But no, I love that book, and I love my dad for sort of putting our memories on the page.
Yeah.
So it's a very big thing for our family.
No, it's super cool, and I'm sure that's all, you know, speaks to the stability and the level-headedness you seem to have with your career. I think you're awesome. I think the way you're handling everything is awesome. I really do, and I don't mean that in any kind of patronising or condescending way. I think you're doing this. You're absolutely nailing this, Tom. Seriously.
Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. That's
right, so you are in a movie with your heroes, many of your heroes. Tell us about Unchartəd. How much were you aware of Unchartəd before you were invited to be in the film?
It's an interesting one, you know. Unchartəd is a huge video game. It sold 40 million copies worldwide. And, you know, while I was shooting Spider-Man Homecoming, obviously it being a Sony movie and Sony owning PlayStation, they were kind enough to gift me a PlayStation. And in between the breaks or the setups on Spider-Man, I would play Unchartəd in my trailer. And, you know, the video game, it really lends itself to the big screen. It's very cinematic. It has a very intriguing and adventurous story. So, you know, it sort of sparked my interest as to whether or not I could play this character. And then, I don't know, 4 or 5 years later, that sort of dream came true. And it feels surreal to be promoting the film today. Honestly, I can't quite believe it.
Well, it's super cool, and there's been lots of online footage of you and this one particular stunt. Let's talk about that for a second. A stunt that took 5 weeks to film, is that right?
Are you talking about me falling out of an aeroplane?
Well, yeah. I mean, very dramatically and artistically and theatrically. You know, you're not just falling, because that wouldn't have taken 5 weeks. No, it's pretty spectacular, pretty sophisticated, and you're in it, and you're the guy doing all the thing, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredibly tough. It was incredibly tough. But, you know, for all the right reasons, we wanted to create an action sequence that was breathtaking, that, you know, really hadn't been seen before, so that meant that we had to kind of push the boundaries of what we could do with practical stunts. But I did have a hilarious moment on the set of Spider-Man No Way Home, because we shot that directly after shooting Unchartəd, and I was sitting down with Zendaya, and I was trying to explain to her what Unchartəd was about. And I was like, yeah, there's this stunt I did where I fell out of an aeroplane. Well, I get hit by a car that is falling out of an aeroplane. And she was like, wait, what? How on earth does that happen? This film sounds ridiculous. And I was like, you have to wait and see the film. It makes sense when you see the film, but me explaining it to you makes no sense at all.
So Noah, who's 12, nearly 13, he was watching the trail with me last night, and he said, Ted, I'm not sure, I love Tom Holland. You're his favourite actor, by the way, by miles. By miles. And he said, but I'm not sure I can watch this film. I said, why not? He said, because they destroy a Mercedes SL 300.
Well, I can confidently say that it is not a real Mercedes. It is a Volkswagen with a carbon fibre top, and they played a very cruel trick on me. I walked onto set and saw it, and the car fanatic that I am, I freaked out and was like, oh my God, how did you get one?
Yep.
And they were like, funny story, it's actually going to be yours to take home after the shoot.
What?
And I was freaking out, this is amazing. I said, can I have the keys? And they're like, yeah, brilliant, go and get in it. And the door didn't open, and then I found out that it was just a prop, and I was very disappointed.
Oh my goodness me. Right, we haven't talked about the plot. I mean, there is a plot. There's a $5 billion thing going on because, the cinematic world has to up the ante now where cash is concerned because the crypto guys are alive and kicking. So it's got to be in the billions. What particular $5 billion treasure trove are you chasing with your pals on the big screen?
So it is the story of Magellan's Lost Gold, which is a real story. There is this myth that out there somewhere is $5 billion worth of ancient treasure. And Nathan Drake and Victor Sullivan are these sort of misfit team that don't really belong together, but they make it work, and they are on the hunt for this treasure. And they are it's a race. They are racing against, the incredible Antonio Banderas, who for me was a dream come true to get to work with. So it's a lot of fun. It's a family movie. It's an action flick. And it's very adventurous, and it's a great way to escape at the moment.
Yeah, and it's around for half term. They've timed it very neatly for half term here in the UK, and indeed across the globe. So Mark Wahlberg, I get the sense from what I've seen that you had a right laugh together.
We really did, I mean, for me as a young actor, it was very daunting to, work with him. I've been a big fan of his work for a very long time. And this film kind of lives and dies with the relationship of Nate and Sully. So it was important to everyone involved that we had great chemistry, and we were just lucky that we did naturally. It wasn't something that we needed to work on. Him and I are both big golfers, so we would play golf with each other on the weekends, and, it was incredibly competitive. And it was a lot of fun. So I'm really glad that Mark was the guy to play Sully. All
right, where did you play golf? How's his handicap? How's yours? And who took the spoils on a regular basis?
We play golf in Berlin a lot. We played at this place called Wannsee, which is, I guess, their PGA course there, which was a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot of golf recently. I've just been cut. I'm a 5.4.
Whoa!
But I love it. My golf is like, I am addicted to golf. Without golf, I don't know where I would be. I absolutely love golf.
Really? Interesting. That's interesting. And when Vass and I were listening intently there, having worked at both the Masters and the Ryder Cup, both of us, and quite a few Opens now, and other things too. The second you said point something, when somebody starts talking about the handicap and you get into decimals, then they're quite serious about it. Say you wanted to get rid of the 0.4, get down to 5 or an actual 4, and say you're like one of the best coaches in the world's listening now. So say like somebody Vassos,
Butch Harmon.
Butch Harmon's listening now. You get 1 hour with Butch Harmon. What are you working on?
I would be working on my 80-yard shot. Is what I've been working on, because I'm the kind of person where I can hit a driver and everyone in the party will go, "Oh,
wow,
that's a big shot, mate. Well done,
Spidey."
I can shank it 3 times in a row from 80 yards. So I need to I need to work on that. That's where I'm losing shots.
So you're thinning it. That's the issue there. So it's the beginning of a thin. So you're probably decelerating. So you're probably not. The club selection is probably a little bit off, I would say.
Then what do I'm working on it.
What do
it's
I
getting
know?
there.
All right, so whilst you and Mark were golfing in Berlin, what was Antonio Banderas up to?
Antonio only really came in for a week or so, I think. We were able to sort of shoot all of his stuff in one big chunk to allow him as quick a process as possible. I unfortunately, but I'm glad I did get the chance, I only got to work with him for one scene, which originally wasn't in the script. And then reading the script, I sort of saying to the director, like, you can't have the hero and the villain never meet. So can you please give me an opportunity to work with Antonio? But he was delightful, honestly. He was so lovely, and I've been a massive fan of his for a very long time. So to share the screen with him and to work with him was a real honour.
Yeah, and also I love the fact that, you know, that they frame it around him. He's Antonio Banderas. He's got a week. All right, we'll take it. We'll get as much.
Exactly.
I love that. It's so cool, isn't it, Tom?
It was the busiest week of his life. We crammed so much into that week.
Right, and is he as cool as we hope he is?
Oh, mate. He's double handsome in every way.
Oh.
He is just the coolest guy. I was weak at the knees working with him.
He's got to stop it. Right, Danny and the Cotswolds. If I'm ever feeling down and I'm struggling to find my smile, I go to YouTube and watch Tom Holland's appearance on Lip Sync Battle. It's one of the most wonderful, joyful things ever. Have a wizard day. So I watched this and I thought, well, you know, I get the Gene Kelly, I get the singing in the rain. That's all fine. And you nail the dancing. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about Umbrella. For people who don't know, how the heck did that? First of all, what am I referring to, and how the heck did it come about?
So the Lip Sync Battle is a TV show in the States where they get celebrities to come on and basically just impersonate other musicians. And I, at the time, had never really been on television before and no one really knew who I was. So I kind of had this idea of coming out and doing Singing in the Rain so that the whole audience and the world would be like, that's a bit of an interesting choice. I wouldn't have gone with that. And then I go behind this collection of umbrellas and I rip my clothes off and all of a sudden I'm in, you know, latex and fishnets.
Exactly.
And with red lipstick on and I start dancing in the rain. And my dad actually called me up like a week before and he was like, I don't think you should do this. I don't think this is a good idea. And I was like, Dad, it's too late. I've committed. And it turns out to be one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah, and
like it's gone absolutely viral.
Yeah, well, you try getting in a time machine, Tom, and try and stop your dad from doing the same at the age you were when you did it.
Right.
Exactly, Daddy Dominic. All right. Emma says it's my friend's son's 13th birthday today, and guess what? He's called Tom Holland. It would be amazing if actual Tom Holland could say happy birthday to our Tom Holland.
Absolutely. Firstly, Tom Holland, what an amazing name. What a strong, powerful name. I just want to say a massive happy birthday to you, mate. I hope you have a wonderful day and lots of love from me and everyone here at Marvel and Sony.
All right, that is completely awesome. All right, so Uncharted, the film is coming out for half term, released in UK cinemas nationwide from next Friday, the 11th of Feb. What else would you like to tell us before we part company, Tom?
I think Uncharted is, you know, it's the perfect movie for where we are right now in the world. You know, if you need to escape and go and explore the world, which is something we seemingly haven't been able to do for the last couple of years, Uncharted is the way to do that. Okay, and your cover story is great for Uncharted because you're a cocktail waiter, you're a barman, and you actually went and gave it a proper go at the Chiltern Firehouse. I did, yeah. It's my sort of favourite place to go to when I'm here in London, and, you know, I've become good friends with the bar staff there, so while I was preparing for the film, they would let me go behind the bar and make drinks for everyone, but then the manager sort of found out and it didn't go down very well. But it was a lot of fun, and, you know, I don't know if what I was making was particularly very tasty, but I do know that we all had a lot of fun doing it. Right, and what is your how old are you now? I'm 25. What is your go-to cocktail at the age of 25? Because obviously it changes from decade to decade. So where are you at the moment? I mean, I wouldn't really consider it a cocktail, but I would probably drink an old-fashioned. I don't really drink cocktails, but yeah, for me, an old-fashioned would be lovely. All right, okay. I would have, if I had to guess, and here's me being all presumptuous, I would have gone for an espresso martini. I do like an espresso martini, but I will say, I've just actually completed Dry January for the first time, and I am thinking about going into Dry February. I went out last night to a bar with a bunch of mates, and Dry February is still a go. So I'm very proud of myself, and I'm going to see if I can give Dry February a go. I'm hearing it all the time. I'm hearing people who've smashed Dry Jan doing exactly the same as you. Maybe it's the new thing. Amazing. Tom, I know this is your first interview, a long day today. I really appreciate you fitting us in. Give our love to your family, and well done. Congratulations. But please try and read that book, Will, or at least listen to the audiobook, because I think you'll really enjoy it. I absolutely will. Right, thank you, guys. I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me on the show. Cheers, Tom. Lots of love. There he is. What a pro. 25 years old. And he's so on it. It's ridiculous.